1.7 west. That's as of 6 o'clock Central Time.
From Fox Philadelphia, the region's only prime-time news hour, the Fox 10 o'clock news.
Good evening. Hurricane Danny is camping out along the Gulf Coast and packing a wallop.
The slow-moving storm is pummeling.
High, brittle timber and brisk winds are fueling a fire in the New Jersey Pinelands tonight, a fire that continues to burn out of control at this hour. The fire was reported early this afternoon in Berkeley Township, Ocean County, and quickly spread. It was in an area south of Route 37, 5 miles west of Toms River. Heavy smoke billowed into the sky in the heavily wooded area adjacent to the Holiday City retirement community. Throughout the afternoon and evening hours, helicopters scooped water from a nearby reservoir, ferrying it to pour it on the burning brush and homes.
We've had 300 homes affected by the fire. We've evacuated over 600 people. And at this time, the fire is still not under control and it's not contained.
We came about 3 blocks away from our house, and it's frightening, especially when you have a lot of animals. You think, where are you going to go?
Parts of South Jersey haven't received rain in probably about 45 days, so the forests are very vulnerable to fires. Any fire that starts is going to spread very quickly and get big quick.
At least 3 homes were reported damaged. Firefighters set back fires to keep the fire from spreading closer to the homes. And firefighters say they do not expect to get the wildfire under control until tomorrow. They say there's a danger that the fire could continue to smolder in the roots of the trees and the fine brush because the ground is so dry.
Speculation continues.
You're watching Philadelphia's NBC10. Now, live from the News Center, this is News 10 at 11.
Tonight, hungry flames are feeding on the hot, dry South Jersey Pinelands. The forest fire has chased almost 1,000 people from their homes tonight and incinerated hundreds of acres. Good evening, everyone. I'm Tim Lake. Siani has the night off. And our top story tonight, a huge fire raging in the dry South Jersey Pinelands, and it's still burning wildly and out of control at this hour. Take a look now at the pictures just in from the Chopper 10 gyrocam. At least 800 acres have burned so far, and several homes have been damaged. Now, it all started early this afternoon, and since then, thick smoke has been billowing around nearby homes in the area. Hundreds of people, including residents of the retirement community, have been evacuated tonight. And there's so much smoke, it's showing up on the Earthwatch satellite pictures. Take a close look now. You can see we have circled wisps of smoke that are trailing off the South Jersey shoreline. And here's where it's all happening. In Berkeley Township in Ocean County, New Jersey, the fire is concentrated just south of Route 37 in Ocean County. Right now, News 10's Mike Strug is live in Chopper 10 over the blaze with the very latest on the story. Mike.
Well, Tim, we're just west of Toms River. The Atlantic Ocean is a few miles away. This is the scene where firefighters have been battling that stubborn blaze since early this afternoon. If we take a shot outside of Chopper 10, you can see it's truly spectacular now as the flames lick away at that scrub pine. Despite appearances, firefighters are making progress, but it's been a very difficult day for them and a very difficult day for the residents of the nearby Holiday City retirement community.
It's very frightening. It was very frightening, but thank God it's all over with.
Not quite over with. While some 700 residents of this retirement community have been evacuated, the firefighters and their equipment keep moving in. More than 40 volunteer fire companies, along with some 75 firefighters from the Forest Service. The fire is in the Pinelands, just west of the development.
Homes on the perimeter of this development were threatened as the woods come very close to the homes. And right now, with the conditions we have, some parts of Central and South Jersey haven't had rain in about 45 days. So it's a tinderbox out there. Plus today with the wind, so the fire started off small, got pretty large. And that's the situation we ran into.
As night settled over the blazing Pine Barrens and the threatened Holiday City, New Jersey Governor Christie Whitman arrived to survey the scene and to express her gratitude to the firefighters.
At one point, according to the commissioner, the firefighters really sort of
gave up fighting the fire and got themselves between the woods and the houses in order to protect the houses. And we have scorched lawns and cinder mark burns on roofs, but no houses have gone yet. As long as the wind stays the way it is, we're going to be okay, I think.
Now we're looking once again live at that fire in the Pine Barrens, and firefighters are as confident as the governor that they can contain this fire. They expect to have it contained within the next few hours. They're hoping it will be under control sometime tomorrow. Live in Chopper 10 over Berkeley Township, I'm Mike Strug, News 10.
Mike, safe to say it's going to be a long night for those firefighters. Now, investigators believe the fire was triggered in part by our hot, dry weather over the past week and a half. News 10's Herb Clark is live now in the Weather Center with more on this dangerous dry spell. Herb.
Yeah, just in the last couple of minutes, Tim, the hurricane has been downgraded. Danny has been downgraded to a tropical storm, and our hope for rain may have to start diminishing a little. We were looking for some rain from that storm about on Thursday. In the meantime, we're in a dream of a midsummer's night. We got the full moon for full effect, and it's cool in the 70s already, going down a good bit lower. Let's take a look on the computer. We'll show you just how nice the weather is throughout this area, discounting the fire area.
Of wet weather, too. Sticky, you bet, throughout this region still.
As a public service to our late-night viewers, Channel 6 now presents a rebroadcast of tonight's 11 o'clock news.
Action News, Delaware Valley's leading news program, with Phil Andrews and Rob Jennings.
Saturday night, Hurricane Danny finally moves overland, and Episcopal leaders vote against same-sex marriage. But the big story in Action News is a wildfire burning in Ocean County, causing people to be evacuated from their homes. Kristen C. has the story tonight.
In Berkeley Township tonight, streets are jammed with residents leaving the area. Local police have ordered the evacuation of 2,000 homes in the Holiday City Berkeley retirement community. This as a wildfire continues to burn. Chopper 6 and the gyrocam over the flames here as they swept through 800 acres of Ocean County woodland. The fire started early this afternoon in an area south of Route 37, 5 miles west of Toms River. Firefighters set back fires to reduce the main fire's power. By early evening, it was contained, but with dense smoke in the air, residents can't stay.
The smoke is coming in very heavy.
Difficult to breathe.
So,
okay.
you know, they're older people down there, you know, so they want to get the people out. And there's always a chance that there is all woods around there and that they could go up.
Fire officials say so far there's been minimal damage. Just one shed and some lawn furniture were destroyed. And there's been just one report of a minor injury. But some of the elderly evacuees are sounding a health alert.
We were chased out so fast, and I have myasthenia gravis, and it's vital that I have my medication on time.
Right.
Now, if we can't go back in there tonight, I have no medication for tomorrow.
The Red Cross is trying to meet the residents' needs. A shelter has been set up, but many are choosing to stay with friends. Meanwhile, the blaze continues to burn under the watchful eye of firefighters. Kristen Z, Channel 6 Action News in Berkeley Township, New Jersey.
The death toll from the heat wave has risen by 2 this weekend. An 84-year-old Olney man and a 62-year-old Kensington man were found dead in their homes last night. Philadelphia health officials say 18 people have died from the heat this summer, 14 of them in the heat wave which ended last night. But this was a different day. It was a more comfortable day to be outside doing things like these people along Kelly Drive in Fairmount Park. Cooler, drier air pushed across the Delaware Valley overnight, snapping the heat wave. So it was rollerblades and jogging, bike riding, and just plain walking. Or sitting outside today, enjoying a day of delightful weather. And we can see the difference on this chart. These are our high temperatures for the past week. 94 Monday, 98 Tuesday, 96 Wednesday, 97 Thursday, 98 yesterday, plus all the humidity. Today's high was 89 degrees and the humidity was down in the 20s. How long will it last? AccuWeather's 5-day coming up later. Hurricane Danny continues to leave its course.
You're watching Philadelphia's NBC 10. Now, live from the News Center, this is News 10 Today at sunrise.
Firefighters are on alert as a massive wildfire still burns this morning near Berkeley Township, New Jersey. The blaze has already charred 800 acres of wilderness in the Pinelands.
It's now Tropical Storm Danny instead of hurricane, but the damaging storm still drenching the Gulf Coast of Alabama and the Florida Panhandle.
And federal investigators say suspected serial killer Andrew Cunanan may be dodging authorities by disguising himself as a woman.
Good morning. It's Sunday, July 20th. I'm Tracy Davidson in for John Blunt.
And I'm UZ Brown Washington sitting in for Kathy Egan. Thanks so much for joining us. Right now, it is 6 a.m.
And time for a quick check of the sunny, hopefully, Sunday forecast.
And of course, for that, we go to News 10's meteorologist, Glenn Hurricane Shorts. Good morning, Glenn.
Yes, good morning. And if you think yesterday was a nice, comfortable day, wait until you see today. If you think yesterday's humidity was low, wait till you see today's. And it's almost cool outside, at least in parts of the area. 63 out at the airport, but some of our WeatherNet locations as low as 50. That's right, 50. Bright sunshine, low humidity, comfortable temperatures today. 86 degrees, partly cloudy tonight. The low in the mid-60s. The warming trend starts tomorrow, but also the return of some rain. We'll talk about that and the influence from now Tropical Storm Danny coming up in a few minutes. Tracy?
All right, we'll see you in a bit. Our top story, a raging forest fire in Berkeley Township, New Jersey is under control at this hour. But firefighters are still on the scene battling the blaze. Here's a live picture from Chopper 10's gyrocam of the Pine Barrens this morning. As you can see, still lots of smoke. Again, it's contained, but firefighters are still having their work cut out for them this morning. At the height of the blaze, nearly 2,000 residents at 2 retirement communities were evacuated. They're back in their homes this morning. So far, about 800 acres of woodland has burned. You see a lot of smoke there. There is so much smoke that it's showing up on the Earthwatch satellite pictures. You can see it right there, circled. Look closely, you can see that we've circled the wisps of the smoke trailing off the Jersey coastline. And here's where it's all happening, to give you a close-up map. Berkeley Township in Ocean County, New Jersey. The fire is concentrated just south of Route 37. News 10's Paul Jackson is live in the News Center with details on the effort it took to get this blaze under control. Paul?
Good morning. Well, crews worked throughout the night to keep the blaze from spreading, but for a while, fire crews had some anxious moments for residents of a nearby retirement community.
It's very frightening. It was very frightening. But thank God it's all over with.
Not quite over with. While some 700 residents of this retirement community have been evacuated, the firefighters and their equipment kept moving in. More than 40 fire companies, along with 75 from the Forest Service. The fire is in the woodlands just west of the development.
Homes on the perimeter of this development were threatened as the woods come very close to the homes. And right now, with the conditions we have, some parts of Central and South Jersey haven't had rain in about 45 days. So it's a tinderbox out there. Plus today with the wind. So the fire started off small, got pretty large, and that's the situation we ran into.
As night settled over the Pine Barrens, New Jersey Governor Christine Whitman arrived to survey the scene and express her gratitude to firefighters.
At one point, according to the commissioner, the firefighters really sort of gave up fighting the fire and got themselves between the woods and the houses in order to protect the houses. And we have scorched lawns and cinder mark burns on roofs, but no houses have gone yet. As long as the wind stays the way it is, we're going to be okay, I think.
You're now looking at a live picture of Chopper 10 with gyrocam over the scene. Still plenty of smoke in the area. Now, we've just got off the line with Berkeley Township Police. They caution this fire is not yet officially contained as we are now. They are getting their first aerial view of the situation. They say there are some openings where back burns have occurred, and again, getting their first daytime aerial view. They expect to have official containment sometime later this morning. Live from the News Center, Paul Jackson, News 10.
All right, thanks a lot, Paul. In other news, Danny is a hurricane no more. It's been downgraded to a tropical storm, but forecasters say it can still dump quite a bit of rain as it moves inland. Yesterday, Danny hovered over the Alabama coast most of the day, drenching that area with nearly 30 inches of rain. High winds reaching up to 80 miles an hour at one point, uprooted trees and damaged homes. Forecasters say Danny is weakening as it moves inland, and they expect it to lose even more of its punch throughout the day. And we'll have a live report from the Florida Panhandle, and that's coming up at 6:30 here on News 10.
At least 6 people are dead after 2 small planes collide in midair near Chicago. This was the scene last night from the shoreline of Lake Michigan. Rescue workers scrambled to recover the victims' bodies. Witnesses say the 2 small planes were very low in the sky and headed straight toward each other when the accident happened.
We heard this explosion, and then I saw the right-hand side was completely engulfed, and then the left-hand side wasn't, and both just fell into the water, and in a few seconds it was as if nothing happened.
6 bodies were pulled from the water, and now officials believe there may be another victim. The cause of the crash is unknown at this time. A train derailment forces thousands to evacuate in Mississippi. This is what the scene looks like near the small town of Flora, just north of Jackson. Yesterday, 11 cars of an Illinois Central train jumped the track, spilling a highly flammable chemical. Last night, crews had to use dynamite to blow up the cars in order to remove the hazardous chemical.
Now, the manhunt continues for suspected serial killer Andrew Cunanan, but police say he may no longer look like a man. Wanted posters showing Cunanan's chameleon-like ability to change his appearance are being posted throughout the country, but now police say he may be masquerading as a woman. Cunanan is suspected in the murder of fashion icon Gianni Versace and 4 other men. So far, he has eluded police and the FBI. And there is new evidence that some people may have recently seen Cunanan. 8 days before the murder of Gianni Versace, it appears Cunanan was at this pawn shop. A signed customer log and a receipt for a gold coin bears Cunanan's signature. That gold coin was pawned for $190, and that coin is believed to have been owned by Chicago real estate tycoon Lee Miglin. Miglin is one of the men allegedly killed by Cunanan. Cunanan's also been traced to a hotel. The manager says he distinctly remembers the fugitive.
He paid cash when he registered. He had identification with another name on it, and a passport with a matching to match the driver's license.
And a restaurant worker is positive he served Cunanan a meal just last Friday. Now, also this morning, police in Miami make an arrest in a murder case they first thought might be pinned on Cunanan. Josvani Hernandez is charged with murdering a doctor. Police arrested Hernandez by tracing numbers in a pager left near the doctor's home. Police believe Hernandez murdered the doctor while attempting to rob him. He's charged with murder and armed robbery.
2 murders in Philadelphia overnight. One took place in the 5300 block of North 5th Street in the Logan section of the city. Police say a man was shot in the neck. He was pronounced dead at Einstein Medical Center. Police have not released the victim's name and say at this point there are no suspects. Also, a shooting in West Philadelphia leaves 1 man dead. News 10 on the scene in the 4100 block of Warren Street as investigators comb the area for clues. It appears a number of shots were fired. At this hour, no word on the victim's identity. 1 man was killed, 2 other people injured in an early morning accident in West Philadelphia. News 10 was on the scene at 52nd and Girard. Police say it appears the driver of an Acura Legend went through an intersection and hit at least 1 car. 2 people were taken to the hospital at the University of Pennsylvania. Police are still looking for the cause of that accident.
Well, the water is flowing once again in Delaware County, but officials say residents must continue to conserve water throughout the day until levels are back to normal. Now, at this hour, all 4 of the pumps at the Philadelphia Suburban Water Company are up and running. Yesterday, a water main break left thousands of media residents without any kind of water service.
Lots more ahead on News 10 today at sunrise. TV Seinfeld got this man fired. Now he's won millions and ignited a whole new debate over sexual harassment.
Philadelphia historic architecture can actually make you feel hotter. Yeah, it can. We'll tell you why.
And Ricky Waters rushes into training camp. Hear what he has to say about his role in the upcoming season. Dan Brady has sports when News 10 at sunrise continues.
But first, the sun came up at 5:49 this morning and sets tonight at 8:25. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 10 Today at sunrise.
We watch him every day, so we know every play. He's my vibe. Yeah, he's my vibe. He's number 1 you see on 10 NBC. He's my vibe. From the Phillies to the Flyers to a Sixers score to an Eagles touchdown. Hey, nobody knows more. No matter what the game, Bicycahema's his name. Yeah, that's my vibe.
Bicycahema, he's your guy for sports on News 10.
This is you on summer vacation.
This is you at the New Jersey State Aquarium.
Summer vacation.
The New Jersey State Aquarium.
Love will feel fresh long after, way after the mint is gone. Certs, it lasts and lasts. So you can keep your cool longer.
The Chopper 6 Gyro Cam, only on Action News.
Action News, Delaware Valley's leading news program, with Jack Brayboy, Dan Cuellar, and Flora Pastorero.
Good morning, everyone. It's 7 a.m. on this Sunday morning. Dan has the morning off. Anita Brickman joins us this morning. In the news, Hurricane Danny calms down to a dull roar. We'll have the very latest.
And police think suspected serial killer Andrew Cunanan is going around pretending to be a woman. But the big story on Action News is a devastating fire in Ocean County, New Jersey that has burned at least 800 acres.
We'll have that in a moment, but first let's check in with Suzanne LaFranchi with a look at the AccuWeather forecast. Gorgeous so far outside today.
Absolutely beautiful today. It's really going to be a day not like our typical July. We're looking at gorgeous weather. Currently sunny skies, 60 degrees. The key is the low humidity. Today AccuWeather says mostly sunny. We have some refreshing air out there. 84 degrees for the forecast high. And then tonight we're looking at a pleasant night. Low humidity again, basically in the lower 60s. But we're looking at gorgeous forecast today. However, the days ahead, of course, that will change, and I'll run down the 5-day AccuWeather forecast for you coming up.
All right. Thank you, Suzanne. In the news on this Sunday morning, firefighters in Ocean County, New Jersey battled a wildfire that charred over 800 acres of woodland yesterday and are keeping an eye on hotspots this morning. That wildfire has burned near Toms River and forced the evacuation of about 2,000 residents of 2 retirement communities in Berkeley Township. There were no serious injuries reported. All of the elderly residents were back in their homes by 11 o'clock last night. Now, this is a Chopper 6 gyrocam view of the fire yesterday about 5 miles west of Toms River near Route 37. The Holiday City Berkeley and Silver Ridge Park retirement communities had to be evacuated as a precaution. State forestry officials said that ground units included 15 fire engines, 3 bulldozers, and at least 50 firefighters. As of last night, the only known property damage was to a garden shed and some siding on a few homes. We now have a member of the Berkeley Township Fire Department on the phone to speak to us live this morning. Good morning, Dispatcher. Robert Johnson is on the phone this morning. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Good morning.
I'm with the police department.
Oh, you're with the police department. Okay. How are you this morning?
Fine.
First of all, do we know the cause of this wildfire?
That's still under investigation, and they're not sure at this time.
Do we know if this wildfire has been contained? We've heard conflicting reports about that.
They set backfires throughout the night and near the areas of the homes that might be in jeopardy. Currently, they're done with their backfires. It is not considered contained at this time. They have some loopholes that it might slip through, and the forest fire should have a update around 10 a.m. this morning.
All right, so officially, again, it is not contained at this hour, right?
Officially, it's not contained, no.
Now, the folks that were evacuated, we had 2,000 elderly residents. Are they all back in their homes right now?
Yes, they're all back in their homes, and currently none of their homes are in jeopardy.
Because you said that this fire is not officially contained, are those folks in jeopardy that perhaps you might have to evacuate them again later today at some point?
I don't believe so. All the ground that was affected near their homes has been burned and is traveling, I guess, on a northwesterly type direction.
So you don't feel that they're in any danger at all this morning?
I don't believe so, unless the winds should change on us.
And again, the damage was limited to just a garden shed, is that correct?
We had a few homes, I guess, with more or less burned siding and, rubber type and plastic products. None of the homes were damaged or a total loss.
All right, Dispatcher Johnson, thank you very much for joining us this morning. And that is the very latest on the forest fire in Ocean County. And we will have a live report around 8 o'clock this morning, so stay with Action News for continuing coverage.
This is KYW TV, Philadelphia. Now, coverage you can count on. This is KYW News 3 Weekend.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ren Scott, in for Brandon Brooks.
And I'm Amy Caples. This is News 3 Weekend. It is Sunday morning, the 20th of July, 1997. Coming up in our first hour this morning, we'll have the latest on an Ocean County brush fire that has been burning since early yesterday.
Plus, we'll tell you about the zine convention, and I'll give you a hint. Its last syllable, it's the last syllable in the word magazine. And when it comes to strange honeymoons, this couple really takes the wedding cake. You won't believe how they spent their wedding night. We'll have those stories and much more coming up.
first, let's check in with David Rogers is in for Tom O'Main this morning. Morning, David.
What a beautiful day out there. Good morning to the
Good morning.
Full energy, beautiful conditions today. Yeah, low humidity.
Chilly.
We still need some rain, though. And we may
Yes.
get a little help on that coming up a little bit later on in the week.
All right, David, thank you. We'll check in with you later. In the news this Sunday morning, firefighters in the New Jersey Pine Barrens have the upper hand now on a wildfire that has charred hundreds of acres in Ocean County. The fire broke out early yesterday afternoon in the Bone Dry Forest of Berkeley Township and forced hundreds of people from their homes. News 3's Dick Standish has the latest this morning.
Firefighters had hoped to have the blaze totally contained by first light, but Berkeley Township police officials found there are still some remaining hot spots. They feel it's pretty much under control now, unless the wind shifts sharply. Fire in the Great Jersey Pine Forest is always dangerous. It can race across the tinder dry pine and scrub oak. More than 800 acres have been burned, most of it near the border of Berkeley and Manchester Townships in Ocean County. 2 large retirement communities were evacuated as a precaution, but most of the 2,000 residents have been able to return home.
We also use buses from our local high school to bus the people to several clubhouses up in the Holiday City area.
What could I tell you? We're trying to get in our home. We can't even get in our home. And that's it. We only live a half a block down the road.
We were at the pool. We saw the smoke. And my husband came back and got the dog, and then we were evacuated. So I can't get in the house now, and I'm still in my bathing suit.
Setting back fires and working to protect homes, the firefighters have succeeded in saving the buildings in the path of the flames.
The non-swamp area is mostly pitch pine and a lot of just heavy underbrush. That's a very flammable combination in South Jersey, as you know.
Now, at this point tonight, most residents are back in their homes, and investigators say they plan to question 3 boys about exactly how the fire started. So far, the boys have been charged with trespassing. Authorities say our stretch of hot, dry conditions contributed to the fast spreading of the flames in the South Jersey Pinelands fire. Now the question is, how much longer will this dry weather be with us? News 10 meteorologist Glenn Hurricane Schwartz is live now in the Weather Center with the answer. Glenn.
Well, it's about to end, as a matter of fact, or at least come to a real great slowdown. Last week was known for the heat. This coming week is going to be known for some significant rain across just about the entire area. As a matter of fact, this entire portion of the country. Let's see how much rain we need. For July, we're over 2.5 inches shy of the average, and for the year, 7.5 inches. And the forecast for this week, straight out of the National Meteorological Center, and much of it because of Danny, is for multiple inches of rain to stretch over the entire southeast and stretching all into the northeast. Now, it's not coming tonight, and most likely not coming during the day tomorrow.
Not only for lawns and flowers, but for locally grown produce as well. Kristen Z has more on that now, live from Linvilla Orchards in Delaware County. Kristen?
Rob, to farmers, it doesn't really matter if this is an official drought year. They say they haven't seen such a dry season since 1993, and that's making it hard for them to take care of their orchards and grow healthy fruits. The lack of rain has affected New Jersey and Pennsylvania corn alike.
You could say it's dry now, because, you know, it's no rain, and the ears, they're not getting full all the way. They're getting, you know, they're not getting full like they're supposed to be.
Farmer Tony Rivera of Steyer Orchards in Langhorne says the corn's still sweet and delicious, but smaller. Now the tomato crop is also suffering. Pennsylvania tomatoes are 2 weeks behind, and the Jersey fruits now being harvested have occasional defects.
See, half of the tomato is red, and the other one is like yellow.
So what are farmers to do? At Linvilla Orchards in Middletown Township, they're irrigating daily to keep their corn, apples, and peaches as pretty as they're tasty.
We have a couple of irrigation ponds, and we've been pumping water for several weeks now. So that seems to do the job.
Okay.
It's a lot of work, but...
And what about the cost?
The cost? Well, anytime that anything extra that you have to do always increases our costs.
Rob Ferber says some of the peaches here are just now ready to be picked, and while they're smaller, they're still juicy and sweet. But here's some not-so-sweet news. Because some farmers can't even irrigate, the industry yield will be smaller, and that could likely mean higher prices at the fruit stands. Reporting live on the Action Cam, I'm Kristen Z in Middletown Township.
Thanks, Kristen.
You're watching Philadelphia's NBC 10. Now, live from the News Center, this is News 10 at 11.
Tonight, there are stunning revelations about suspected Versace killer Andrew Cunanan. He may have been a guest at the designer's mansion just days before the murder. Good evening, everyone. I'm Tim Lake. Siani has the night off. And our top story...
have the upper hand. 2,000 residents who were evacuated have been allowed back in their homes. The fire charred 800 acres. Several swamp-like pockets will continue burning themselves out. They're being monitored by fire units tonight. And a police source says 3 boys will be questioned about possibly starting the fire. They were arrested on trespassing charges at a fire command post yesterday. Tonight, Matt O'Donnell has more on today's efforts to stop the blaze in its tracks.
Folks waking up this morning in an Ocean County retirement community found that the wildfires raging dangerously close by had not been contained. Some were still burning yards from their homes. And as you can see from Chopper 6, the smoke could be seen for miles, emanating from this dry and dense pineland forest in Berkeley Township. More than 800 acres of forest was destroyed, and even though firefighters were closer to finishing off the fires today than they were yesterday, the fear level for some people living in nearby homes remained high.
I'm scared. Wouldn't you be?
State officials had put out warnings weeks ago saying that conditions were ripe for something like this to happen. And sure enough, yesterday afternoon, just after 1 o'clock, a person on a fire tower in nearby Lakewood saw the smoke rising up over Berkeley Township. And ever since, an army of firefighters has been hosing down hot spots, digging trenches to build a break around the fire's perimeter, and pumping more water from hydrants.
This is the grunt work. As you can see, yeah, it's not pleasant work, but somebody's got to do it.
Residents had the sprinklers going most of the day. They watched and waited for signs of the fire's containment.
First time for me. Too close for comfort.
The cause of the wildfires is under investigation. The Ocean County Prosecutor's Office is involved in that investigation in case the cause turns out to be arson. Matt O'Donnell, Channel 6 Action News, Berkeley Township, New Jersey.
Firefighters are still on the scene this hour. Take a look now from Chopper 10 Gyrocam. The flames erupted at 1 yesterday afternoon and burned for more than 24 hours, sending a blanket of smoke throughout the sky. And here is the latest. At least 800 acres have been burned. At the height of the blaze, 2,000 people were evacuated from their homes, and 1 firefighter has been treated for a minor burn fighting the fire. And here's where it all happened, in Berkeley Township, Ocean County, New Jersey. That's just south of Toms River, New Jersey. Now, the fire was at its worst last night, as you can see from these pictures from the Chopper 10 Gyrocam. The flames were fed by dried trees and dry brush in the area, and today it simply kept on burning. Residents at the Holiday City Berkeley retirement community are finally back in their homes tonight. Today they got their first look at the smoldering remains of the forest fire that sent them fleeing from their houses yesterday.
And within an hour, this whole thing went up. Everything went up. I live in that house next door, and I try to squirt these little houses all down with water. So they would try to save them. But you had to get out. Yeah, I just had to get out. Nobody could stay.
In all, about 2,000 residents were evacuated. The intense heat melted the siding on about 20 of the homes. Officials say they're concentrating firefighting efforts now on an area near low-lying swampland. They're comparing the swamp pockets to charcoal briquettes that continue burning. They say they'll be on the scene for as long as it takes to cool down any hot spots that may flare up in the fire. Investigators plan to question 3 boys, meanwhile, about exactly how the fire started. So far, the boys have been charged with trespassing. Authorities say our stretch of hot, dry conditions contributed to the fast spread of the flames and the fire. And the question now is, how much longer will this dry weather be with us? News 10 meteorologist Glenn Hurricane Schwartz is live now in the Weather Center. He's got the answer tonight. Glenn.
Well, Tim, this is going to be the week where we put a huge dent in that rainfall deficit that we've been mounting up and up and up the entire month. Let's see how far we have to go. For the month of July, only 6/100ths of an inch of rain has fallen so far in Philadelphia. We're 2.5 inches shy and 7.5 inches shy for the year. Of course, we don't want that 7.5 inches in 1 week, but we may get a good bit of that July deficit. And the National Meteorological Center has come out today with a forecast that calls for multiple inches of rain from the southeast all the way into the northeast during this week. I'll come back in a few minutes and tell you when that rain is likely to occur and what kind of temperatures we should be getting along with that. 5-day forecast in just a few minutes. Tim?
Okay, Glenn.
Program with Cecily Tynan and Monica Malpass.
Good morning. It is 5:30 on this Monday, July 21st. On Action News this morning, the Pinelands fire is contained, but fear and questions remain as the dry weather continues.
A roller coaster is the scene of another amusement ride accident along the Jersey shore. And it is deep water in the deep south, thanks to former Hurricane Danny.
Cecily Tynan is here with a look at the AccuWeather forecast. First thing this morning.
Yes, good morning. Good morning. It was a fabulous weekend.
Oh, my, beautiful.
And this morning, a pretty nice morning as well. Right now, the action cam is at St. Joseph's University, taking a look at the moon. And you can see we have clear skies right now, full moon. Right now in Philadelphia, checking in at 66 degrees. And AccuWeather says a mixture of clouds and sunshine. It's going to be more humid than over the weekend, up to 88, a little bit on the warm side. And then we do have a chance late this afternoon of some scattered thunderstorms. The chance will get better as we head into the week, and we'll talk about the possibility of some wet weather, which we certainly do need, coming up in the AccuWeather 5-day forecast.
All right, so we'll check in later, Cecily. First in the news this morning, a full force of firefighting units is expected to return to the Pinelands in Ocean County, New Jersey today. Scores of fire companies contained the blaze late yesterday, but hot spots remain at this hour, and so do the fears of 2,000 residents forced from their homes at the height of the fire. More now from Action News reporter Matt O'Donnell.
Folks waking up in an Ocean County retirement community found that the wildfires raging dangerously close by had not been contained. Some were still burning yards from their homes. And as you can see from Chopper 6, the smoke could be seen for miles, emanating from this dry and dense pineland forest in Berkeley Township. More than 800 acres of forest was destroyed, and even though firefighters were closer to finishing off the fires, the fear level for some people living in nearby homes remained high.
I'm scared. Wouldn't you be?
State officials had put out warnings weeks ago saying that conditions were ripe for something like this to happen. And sure enough, just after 1 o'clock, a person on a fire tower in nearby Lakewood saw the smoke rising up over Berkeley Township. And ever since, an army of firefighters has been hosing down hot spots, digging trenches to build a break around the fire's perimeter, and pumping more water from hydrants.
This is the grunt work. As you can see, yeah, it's not pleasant work, but somebody's got to do it.
Residents had the sprinklers going most of the day. They watched and waited for signs of the fire's containment.
First time for me. Too close for comfort.
The cause of the wildfires is under investigation. The Ocean County Prosecutor's Office is involved in that investigation in case the cause turns out to be arson. Matt O'Donnell, Channel 6 Action News, Berkeley Township, New Jersey.
It has been so dry that the region is far below the normal rainfall totals for the month and the year. Now, Philadelphia has had only 6/100ths of an inch of rain in July. Our normal rainfall is just under 3 inches. So far this year, only 5.5 inches of precipitation have fallen. We should have more than 23 inches by this time of year.
And because it has been so dry, fireworks will not be exploding over the Mann Music Center concert tonight. The Philadelphia Fire Department has asked the Mann to cancel the planned fireworks during tonight's Tchaikovsky concert. Artillery will still be fired during the 1812 overture, but ground around the guns will be soaked with water, just as a precaution. The dry hot spell in the Delaware Valley is beginning to take its toll on local farmers. At Linvella Orchards in Middletown Township, farmers have begun irrigating the crops each day using water from area ponds. The peaches are just about ready to be picked, although farmers say this year's peaches are smaller than usual. At Steyer Orchards in Langhorne, officials say the lack of rain is affecting the corn harvest here.
You say it's dry now because, it's no rain, and the ears, they're not getting full all the way. They're getting, they're not getting full like they're supposed to be.
Rivera says the corn is still sweet, but also smaller than last year's. The tomato crops are also suffering. Pennsylvania tomatoes are about 2 weeks behind New Jersey's, and farmers say that only half the crops are ripe.
In other news this morning, a 9-year-old boy is hospitalized after falling off a roller coaster at the Jersey Shore. The child fell 20 feet from the Jetstar roller coaster about 9 last night at Maurice Pier in Wildwood. He's in stable condition this morning at Cooper Medical Center. The ride is closed until state officials have a chance to inspect it. This follows a roller coaster accident last Thursday in Atlantic City and 2 others on a skywalk in Seaside High.
A massive weekend wildfire is now under control, but the 800 acres of charred remains are still smoldering at this hour.
New clues into the connection between suspected serial killer Andrew Cunanan and designer Gianni Versace.
And dramatic home video of a deadly plane crash in Chicago. 7 people were killed in that mid-air collision.
Good morning and welcome to News 10 Today. I'm Connie Kohler.
And I'm Uzi Brown, Washington, sitting in for Steve Levy this morning. Right now it is 6 o'clock on this Monday, July 21st.
So let's head over to the traffic department on this Monday and see how it looks out there.
Good morning, Max.
Well, good morning, Uzi and Connie. Everything is moving pretty smoothly. We do have a healthy minor delay down at the Walt Whitman Bridge toll plaza. Still none up at the Ben Franklin Bridge. And over to I-95 near Bridge Street with a live MetroCam view. We have increased volume heading southbound toward Girard, but no delay. And construction crews that were working between Bridge and Allegheny have completely cleared their work. In the News 10 Metro Traffic Center, I'm Max Vieira for News 10. Bill Henley is out on City Avenue this morning, and it looks like we might get some rain a little bit later on.
Yes, possibly late this afternoon, and if not then, more likely this evening and for tomorrow. Much needed rain is on the way. But for most of the day today, you're going to see a combination of sunshine and clouds and temperatures in the mid-80s. In fact, that's what our forecast is calling for. Possibility of late shower. Other than that, you will probably not need your umbrella. For today, skies will see sunshine. Tomorrow, though, it may be hard finding any sunshine as clouds will be with us and more rain is on the way. You want to see the 5-day forecast because it's a big change compared to what we've been through. Connie, Uzi?
All right, thanks a lot, Bill. Topping the news this Monday, a weekend wildfire in Ocean County, New Jersey scorches 800 acres of woodlands. Fire officials have contained the blaze at this time, but hot spots are still smoldering. News 10's Matt Stevens has been working on this story all morning, and he has more now.
At its worst, the fire forced the evacuation of 2,000 local residents. It melted the siding on a house under construction and scorched the rooftops of a dozen occupied homes.
It's very frightening. It was very frightening.
The fire started early Saturday afternoon near the Berkeley Township-Manchester Township border south of Route 37, 5 miles south of Toms River. Investigators have ruled out lightning and spontaneous combustion as causes, and despite questioning 3 teenagers, have been reluctant to call it arson. More than 200 firefighters battled the blaze. Governor Whitman came to lend support. The only reported injury was to a firefighter, minor burns. More than a month without significant rainfall left the forest ripe for this, but firefighters and volunteers have clearly been up to the challenge.
Well, in other news now, it appears that suspected serial killer Andrew Cunanan cut a visible trail in South Florida just days before allegedly murdering Gianni Versace last week. Newsweek magazine reports that a Brazilian woman has video of Cunanan at the Versace Miami mansion last Sunday. An FBI agent is on his way to Brazil to interview that woman. Meantime, the hunt for Cunanan continues.
Cunanan will be caught. He'll make the big mistake because he's getting very careless. However, I'm afraid that he may kill again before we get him, and I think that everyone has to watch out because we're all at risk in this.
The FBI also searched the Normandy Plaza Hotel in Miami where Cunanan apparently lived for 2 months. And a Miami pawnbroker has Cunanan's signature and a thumbprint for a coin the fugitive pawned for $190. That coin was stolen from Lee Miglin, Cunanan's suspected 3rd murder victim. The FBI has now set up a toll-free number for people with information concerning Andrew Cunanan. The hotline is being manned round the clock, and here's the number for you. It's 1-888-324-9800. Again, the number 1-888-324-9800. The agency is offering a $10,000 reward for any information leading to Cunanan's capture.
Well, back here at home in North Wildwood, a 9-year-old is in stable condition after falling 20 feet from a roller coaster. Last night's accident is the 3rd in 10 days on a Jersey Shore amusement ride. Maurice Pier officials say the accident happened when an emergency brake activated on the Jetstar ride, tossing the boy out. He had to be flown to Cooper Medical Center in Camden so he could get treatment. Officials in Chicago say they found another body from the mid-air collision of two small airplanes yesterday. This home video shows the aftermath of the crash. Wreckage burning on top of Lake Michigan. The discovery brings the death count to 7 in the fiery accident near Chicago's Meigs Field. Investigators are now focusing on the control tower of the small airport. There have been recent complaints that the tower was frequently understaffed.
A hot day yesterday, and they will today, but it might start lifting north and take with it some of its precipitation in our region. That's one chance of rain we might get this week. Another shot may be this. Moisture from Danny may drift into the region, maybe just a little bit to the south, and there could be some shower activity coming in from the west. So we have 3 distinct possibilities of giving us some much-needed rain. Danny, by the way, you can see right what's left of Danny is very disorganized, just a cluster of showers and thunderstorms, for the most part in western Alabama. And the heavier stuff, as you can see by the brighter cloud cover here, is to the north of the Gulf Coast area. So this is the area that had all the heavy rain over the weekend from the storm, and now it's lifting up toward the north and giving the southern areas of Alabama and Mississippi a break. Right now, our rain, maybe a few scattered showers in the Catskills right now. A couple of showers down here where the old front is. They may fire up a little bit later on today as that front slowly lifts back toward the north as a warm front and may prove to be a tracking ground for some showers, as I mentioned, later on this week. Temperatures right now, look at this in the northeast. If you're heading up to Boston, 68 degrees, 69 in New York. Later on today, you can see where Boston and New York will have plenty of pleasant temperatures right now, 79 to 80, but Washington, D.C., as I mentioned, will still be up around 90. And tomorrow, Washington, D.C. is going to get a little break from the heat because cloud cover from that advancing frontal system will keep temperatures around 85 to 88. Around here today, expect a high of 78 in the Poconos and the shore. Everybody else will be in the mid-80s. 65 right now, 90% is our relative humidity at this hour, as clouds and humidity will be on the increase today. Later on today, some thunderstorms are possible. Most areas won't see them. Still a few around tonight, but again, most areas will remain dry tonight. A better chance of showers and thunderstorms coming up tomorrow. 5-day planner sees any day this week as a chance of showers and thunderstorms, and with the threat of showers in the area, we'll have clouds, and the clouds, as you can see, will keep temperatures in the low to mid-80s instead of the mid-90s as we had for 6 consecutive days last week. So we get a break from the heat. Now we need a break from the drought. The news of the day, here's Brandon.
Thank you, Tom. Topping the news, the Jersey Shore in summer, a perfect combination for most families, but an accident on an amusement ride marred the weekend for one little boy. News 3's Robin McIntosh reports from North Wildwood.
The Jetstar ride on Maury's Pier is closed, awaiting state inspectors from the Labor Department to begin looking at the mechanics of the ride that may have thrown a 9-year-old 20 feet to the boardwalk below. It happened shortly after 9:30. The boy, whose identity is being withheld by hospital officials, was medevaced to Cooper Medical Center. He's listed in stable condition. The Jetstar, one of several roller coaster type rides at Maury's. 2 years ago, a maintenance worker was killed here under the Nor'easter roller coaster when he was accidentally kicked in the head by a rider while standing under the ride. No official cause on the latest accident, the third in South Jersey in 10 days involving roller coasters. Last week, a 4-year-old was thrown from this ride on the Steel Pier in Atlantic City. On July 17th, 2 men were hurt on a roller coaster in Seaside Heights.
News 3's Robin McIntosh in North Wildwood.
Firefighters in the Jersey Pine Barrens still are keeping their eyes on some hot spots in the forest of Berkeley Township. From Skycam 3, you can see just how vast an area the fire scorched. The fire forced hundreds from their homes in the Holiday City retirement community. Residents are now back at home only to find how dangerously close the wildfires came to their homes. The brush fire came within 30 feet of some houses before firefighters were able to put it out. Also, the dry conditions will be felt this evening at the Mann Music Center. Philadelphia fire officials have asked the Tonight ABC.
Action News, Delaware Valley's leading news program, with Cecily Tynan, Rick Williams, and Monica Malpass.
Good afternoon. In the news, the School Board of Philadelphia takes up the topic of charter schools.
The FBI is warning friends and acquaintances to look out for Andrew Cunanan. And the aftermath of Hurricane Danny leaves parts of the South soaked. Have ruled out lightning and spontaneous combustion as causes of that stubborn wildfire that burned in Ocean County, New Jersey over the weekend. An estimated 800 acres of the Pinelands have been charred by the fire, which began Saturday afternoon. From Chopper 6, you can see the billowing smoke as several swamp-like pockets continue to smolder at this hour, and it could be weeks before they burn themselves out. Some 2,000 people had to be evacuated from their homes nearby. Meantime, the cause remains under investigation, and police are questioning 3 boys who were arrested for trespassing. As the manhunt for
and at this hour are classifying the fire as contained, but not yet under control.
It doesn't burn with walls of flame like we had here Saturday. It's burning more like charcoal does. It's burning underneath the ground. It's burning very hot.
2,000 residents of the Holiday City, Berkeley, and Silver Ridge retirement communities were forced to evacuate when that wall of flames came perilously close to homes, melting the vinyl siding on those closest to the forest. Everyone was allowed back late Saturday night, but the experience was nerve-wracking.
When you saw the flames that were across the street, we could have lost everything, but for the help of God, the house was still standing, and this could be repaired.
My house melted. That shows you what the flames were. And the bushes were on fire.
Officials say the cause of the fire was a cigarette tossed deep in the woods. They have no suspects, but did arrest 3 teens over the weekend caught in the evacuated neighborhoods. You suspect they may have intended to loot the home?
We expect something like that. There was no other reason for anyone to be in the area.
Meanwhile, fire crews continue to make their way around Berkeley Township, dousing flare-ups in the backyards of homes that came within inches of burning down.
And forest fire officials say the danger of this fire reigniting or other fires taking off will continue until we get what we so desperately need here, a long, steady, soaking rain. I'm Nora Mushanek, Channel 6 Action News in the Pinelands.
It carried no tragedy.
Good morning.
More than 200 firefighters held it off. Now they'll guard against flare-ups, thankful for a muggy Monday.
As a firefighter, believe me, send me humidity if you can't send me rain.
Of the 2,000 residents evacuated for much of Saturday, most are back now with a few fearful memories. Ralph Monte remembers grabbing the family photos.
And you just saw flames and smoke, and we had to get out like in seconds.
800 acres of charred and smoldering trees remain, but through the smoke that still blankets this community, residents are breathing a sigh of relief. Their homes remain as well. In Ocean County, New Jersey, Matt Stevens, News 10.
Tonight at 6 o'clock, Mike Strug continues News 10's team coverage of the devastating fires in the Pinelands with a live...
Storm head our way and ease our drought conditions. John Baleris with the answer from Earthwatch in just a few minutes on News 10.
The final phase of a $27 million improvement package for the Roosevelt Boulevard, that section of it. And later this week, Chopper 6 reveals more of the same on I-95 here in Delaware County. Beginning Thursday night at 7, PennDOT will begin repaving work on the 8-lane highway between Bartram Avenue and Interstate 476, the Blue Route, each night for the next 3 months. Only 2 of 4 lanes will be open in both directions until 10 p.m. And then from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m., only 1 lane in each direction will be open. PennDOT says the badly needed work is happening now only because of money raised through the state's new gas tax. And Chopper 6 shows us the Schuylkill Expressway, which will get a 7-mile touch-up from Belmont Hills to the Blue Route beginning next week. However, some planners have much bigger ideas for the road's future. An upper deck for cars and light rail traffic only that would go from 30th Street to King of Prussia. How about that? Trucks and buses would use the lower level. Republican Congressman John Fox of Montgomery County has asked for a federal grant to study the feasibility of this project.
Frankly, I think that the idea of decking the Schuylkill Expressway with light rail on the side will do immense things for improving mass transit, improving the environment, helping people get from the suburbs to the city to the suburbs as fast as possible.
A double-decker expressway. We'll see. Fox said that an upper deck would end the constant congestion on the Schuylkill.
The city of Philadelphia has blamed 2 more deaths on the heat, bringing the total to 19 in the last week's heat wave. For now, the worst of the heat is over, and we might be in for some much-needed rain. As Flora Postorero reports, a drought watch has already been declared in Harrisburg and Lancaster. Here's Flora's report.
Too hot. Too hot.
Not only is it hot, it is also extremely dry.
Everything's been pretty dry. Dry, brittle. Just look like everything's been dying off.
Plants and shrubs are dying. The grass looks and feels like straw. Folks are being forced to water things by hand since Mother Nature hasn't given us a good downpour in over a month. That has the Department of Environmental Protection concerned.
People should be careful and not use more water than they need to. I mean, we're in a very dry spell. The heat last week also accentuated the dryness.
Although water supply levels in Philadelphia are in good shape, the 5 counties in the southeast are hurting from a lack of rainfall. Chester County is at the top of the list.
Chester minus 6.3, Delaware minus 3.0, Philadelphia minus 5.5.
If it doesn't rain soon, DEP may have to declare a drought watch in the Philadelphia area, something it has already done in Harrisburg and Lancaster.
These unusually dry conditions have also prompted the state to call for a ban on open fires in state forests in 21 counties in Pennsylvania.
The fire danger index is high, and campers can only burn in approved spots. All necessary precautions to keep this dry spell from becoming a disaster. I'm Flora Postorero, Channel 6 Action News.
And coming up on Action News, Dave Roberts returns with...
Dave Roberts joins us inside with the AccuWeather forecast.
It's much more comfortable inside because you're really starting to feel it. The humidity is back. It's not going to be as hot as it was last week, and we have hopes. We have hopes for some rainfall. We certainly do need it. Let's go live on Sky 6 right now. There is the scene down in Atlantic City. All is quiet. Don't see anybody on the beach or in the water. We'll watch the live picture, show you the numbers. Today's high, 88 degrees, the normal 87, our low 64. Present temperature reading 88, winds out of the southwest 8 miles an hour. Tonight, going to be warm and humid. Could have a thunderstorm later after midnight. The overnight low 70 degrees. Tomorrow, warm and humid again with a shower or a thunderstorm, a high of 84. On Wednesday, 82 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. Again, the possibility of a shower or a thunderstorm. And then on Thursday, we are hopeful for thunderstorms with a high of 84 degrees. Well, the Delaware Valley's dry spell may be broken this week. I certainly hope so. It's just in time because tonight's AccuFacts file, we're going to take another look at the rain gauge. You see, the official rain gauge for Philadelphia International has only recorded 0.06 of an inch of rain for July. That's just 2% of the normal amount, nearly 3 inches by this point in the month. That's where we should be. But there have been some widely scattered showers, but they haven't had much effect. Wilmington has had 10% of its normal, and Willow Grove has had less than 20%. Just to put it all in perspective, the longest rainless spell in the United States was 767 days. Can you believe that? Between 1912 and 1914, that was in Baghdad, California. California.
Thought that was good.
Yeah, Baghdad Cafe movie out there.
Twas a mixed day for investors on the Street of Dreams. The Dow gained 16 points, closing at 79.06, but the NASDAQ swooned a bit on this sultry day, down 11 points to 1536. Who says there's no romance in business?
Time now to check weather with John as we wait for rain. John?
Yeah, Tracy, everyone has been asking, when's it going to rain? When's it going to rain? We need rain, need rain, need rain. My grass is brown. It's crusty. It's toasty. Well, we found some rain, and I think a widespread rain event and possibly even some heavy rain as we move into the middle of this week. I will explain. Let's check out the latest weather net for you right now at this hour, and we have Stone Harbor Elementary School reported a high today of 80 degrees, a low of 66. They're standing at 76 degrees right now, and yeah, they need some rain too. No rain right there for today. 0 in the old rain bucket. All right, the high for today officially at the airport, 87 degrees. The low is 68, the normal high. Look at that. This is a normal day. This is the way it should feel like in mid to late July. 87, 68, that's a rarity. The record high, 103. Oh, that's hot. Set back in 1930. And we can see, feed me is the story right now across the landscape. We need rain. Temperatures now in the 80s, east side, west side, all around the town. Where's the rain? Well, take a look and you can see some rain trying to sneak in from the north and west. You can see it across the Great Lakes near Erie over there, beginning to drop down towards Pittsburgh. Now look to the south towards Richmond, Virginia right now, and you can see a band of rain, some heavy rain located down that way. We're right in the middle still, but I think these two systems will get together right on top of us over the next 48 to 72 hours. We fly into the one system out towards Cleveland and Toledo, Ohio, where they're getting some rain. On up towards the Ohio Valley. That's one system. Frontal system with a series of little low pressure system, wave train, and that should give us a chance of some scattered showers, especially during the day tomorrow and tomorrow night. Now the real rain story should come in the form of once Hurricane Danny, now located down in the deep south, moving out of Alabama. They had so much rain, too much rain, over 30 inches of rain in some locations down in the deep south, and some of that leftover moisture from Danny will try to make its presence felt here Wednesday into Thursday. There's the future radar. Put that into motion. And now notice, this is one computer model. It's giving us rain, scattered rain through 6 p.m. tomorrow, and then really highlighting the rain by tomorrow night. I buy that. I buy some of the rain becoming more active by tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, but I don't think we're going to see a widespread rain event during the day here tomorrow, just some scattered showers. You'll have to wait until Wednesday into Thursday. There's the shorecast. Yeah, you may get a little hazy sun tomorrow, some clouds too. I don't think it'll be a rain out down the shore, but a couple of scattered showers not out of the question mark, with temperatures in the 70s to around 80. A forecast for tonight: showers and a few widely scattered thunderstorms developing overnight, 72. Tomorrow, some scattered shower activity, maybe a heavy thunderstorm, especially late in the day or tomorrow night, 83 degrees. Now it gets juicy. Wednesday into Thursday, especially Wednesday night into Thursday, is the time frame we're watching for the chance of widespread heavy rain, and then we dry out in time for the weekend. Let's hope it all works out. I'll have more details at 6 and again 11 o'clock tonight. Tracy and Ken.
Good. We'll hope. Thanks, John.
Okay.
That's news.
You're watching Philadelphia's NBC 10. Now, live from the News Center, this is News 10 at 6.
Still smoldering and still a threat to the New Jersey Pinelands. Firefighters say the destructive fire is burning underground and could break out again. Meanwhile, they've pinpointed the cause.
Good evening. I'm Renee Chenault.
And I'm Ken Matz.
In our top story tonight, the forest fire that's charred 800 acres across the New Jersey Pinelands. Now, at this hour, the fire is still burning 2 days after it was first reported. Ocean County authorities tell News 10 that at least 20 homes have been damaged by flames. And tonight, fire investigators say the cause of that destructive blaze has now been determined. This map shows exactly where the fire is burning, in Berkeley Township, Ocean County. That's just south of Toms River. Let's go live right now to Chopper 10 and News 10's Mike Strug for the very latest on the fire's progress and how the fire started. Mike, what's the story?
Well, Renee, first of all, the scene up here from Chopper 10 is completely different than it was over the weekend. If you take a look outside below now, you'll see some 800 acres of charred pine trees, occasionally a wisp of smoke. On Saturday, however, this was a burning inferno.
The fire, first spotted early Saturday afternoon, was raging out of control Saturday night. It came within just yards of two retirement communities. Some 700 residents were evacuated as firefighters battled the wind-driven flames. Today, with the bulk of the fire out, experts are able to trace it back to its source and determine the cause.
We track the fire back to where it started, and we find our cigarettes there. And probably they weren't careful, they didn't put it out, and that thing just started smoldering and getting bigger and bigger. And then as Saturday got hotter and drier, whoosh.
Within hours, the flames were melting the siding on nearby homes, but firefighters held their ground.
I would say it was a disaster, but we say it's a successful disaster because of the fact that we lost no homes and no lives. And with the closeness and the intensity of the fire, we're very lucky.
The spectacular flames that tore through this pine forest over the weekend have now been contained. But there's a new problem. Take a look down here. It's a turf fire, actually burning underground, and it can come to the surface almost anywhere.
It's a buildup of the needles, leaves, root vegetation from all the surface plants, buildup of 10, 20, 30 years, and the fire just gets down into it and eats it away. It can travel along rootways and pop up 6, 10 feet away from where it started. So, yeah, it's very important to get it out.
Now, firefighters are hoping that the remnants of Hurricane Danny will dump a couple of inches along here and help them to control those turf fires. Live in Chopper 10 above Berkeley Township, I'm Mike Strug, News 10.
Firefighters are waging another battle in Washington Township, New Jersey, where a brush fire broke out just after 4 this afternoon. Chopper 10's gyro cam over that fire, located off Route 563 near Wharton State Park in Burlington County. Forestry officials aren't sure if the fire is on private or state property. So far, that fire has charred about 2 acres. And brush fire is also creating problems tonight in western Pennsylvania. Firefighters in Blair County have been fighting the Sugar Run Mountain fires since Friday. Officials say about a dozen small fires started in a remote area because of extremely dry ground conditions. The fires have been contained but continue to burn tonight. And the fire is no surprise elsewhere in Pennsylvania. A drought watch has already been declared in these 34 counties covering the central part of the state. And in Delaware, Governor Tom Carper announced plans to activate the Drought Advisory Commission to discuss what to do about the recent lack of rain. Renee?
Well, the recent heat wave caused severe damage and burned about 800 acres of Ocean County woodland. Fire officials now say it was careless smoking which sparked that blaze. They say a cigarette smoldered in the dry ground for hours before erupting into flames in Manchester Township. The dry weather prompted city officials to cancel tonight's fireworks at the Mann Music Center. There was plenty of fine music, though, at the all-Tchaikovsky concert. Fire officials were concerned that fireworks on the especially dry grounds could be a serious fire hazard, and it would be a logistical nightmare if the center had to be evacuated.
Well, we had hoped for some showers this afternoon, but it's still dry, at least here in Center City.
Rob Garino is in tonight for Frank, and he's here to tell us when we'll get a break in first weather.
We have some great news for you farmers out there, folks that own lawns, flower beds. Rain is on the way. We'll go right to Doppler radar and show you what's going on at this hour. In the last hour or so, the thunderstorms and showers have started to pop up in the Susquehanna Valley and Lehigh Valley, all moving in our direction overnight tonight, and they'll be in here by tomorrow morning. Let's take a look at the numbers today. Another warm one, 88 degrees. The humidity has really come up through the afternoon hours. 64 was the low. Precip so far is 0, but that will change. A few showers in the morning and about 73 degrees. I'll have more coming up on the soaking rains, and guess what? The tropics are brewing again. Details coming.
Bridge you can count on. This is KYW News 3 at 11.
Good evening. I'm Stephanie Stahl. Larry Kane is off.
Pinelands is contained but not yet under control. The blaze has blackened 800 acres of parched pinelands in Berkeley Township. And today, investigators revealed that the fire was sparked by careless smoking. New Jersey correspondent Norma Mushanek toured a retirement community today where the heat from the blaze actually melted the siding of some of the homes. 2,000 residents were evacuated when the flames came perilously close, but they are all back in their homes tonight.
Tonight blamed careless smoking for a fire that charred 800 acres of New Jersey pinelands over the weekend. This is how the blaze looked Saturday when it was burning out of control. Today, firefighters got the upper hand and residents saw the damage. You can see how close the flames came to their property. It melted the siding off homes and turned wooded backyards into charcoal, and residents are furious.
It's criminal, really. Anyone that goes into woods, and especially with, 60, 70 days without rain, and didn't put off the cigarette or stop smoking on a forest. This is so precious.
Fire officials are also looking for copycat arsonists who may have set several small fires along Route 37 since yesterday morning.
Cunanan has scorched at least 7 acres near the Wharton State Park. Chopper 10 gyrocam overhead this afternoon. Fire crews battled from the ground while officials ordered an aerial assault using 3 aircraft. Crews set backfires to stop the spread. The blaze was declared contained about 8 o'clock tonight. Officials are trying to determine the cause of this fire. Meantime, firefighters have determined the forest fire in Ocean County was caused by a tossed cigarette. The 800-acre blaze forced the evacuation of 2,000 residents over the weekend. Chopper 10 gyrocam shows timber continues to smolder while the fire burns dry roots underground. Authorities are still assessing the damage to a neighboring retirement community. The homeowners in that development are coping with considerable damage tonight, as you see. The local officials hope this experience will prove to be a valuable lesson.
Okay, I got to replace some windows too. I sedate the heat just to form them, you know.
We're considering to contact the New Jersey DEP and the New Jersey State Fire Service and see beings the woods have been destroyed because of this fire. If we can't bring in some bulldozers and clear buffer zones around the homes that are already here.
The plan is already in effect for some of the newer developments coming before the planning board in the Pinelands area.
Tonight, the drought conditions are being blamed for forest fires in Pennsylvania. Firefighters near Altoona in Blair County have been fighting blazes in the Sugar Run Mountains since Friday. At least a dozen small fires were started by extremely dry conditions. All the fires have been contained, but continue to burn tonight. Well, fires are no surprise. A drought watch was declared last week in 34 Pennsylvania counties, covering the central part of the state. Meteorologist John Belaris is live now in the Earthwatch Weather Center with word that rain is finally on the way.
Yeah, finally, Renee, some rain moving this way and perhaps some significant rain. But first, let's check out the stats for you. 14 is the record for consecutive days without any rain in a summer season. Right now, we have 11 days, but in less than an hour, that will make that 12 without any rain. All right, last time it rained around here, July 10th, but only 4/100th of an inch officially measured at the airport. Last significant rain 36 days ago, June 13th, a half an inch of rain. Normally, we should have 23.35 inches of rain from January 1st until now. So far this year, only 15.64. We're about 7.5 inches below normal, but rain moving this way. I'll tell you when it will arrive in just a little bit. Ken and Renee?
Okay. Still ahead. Look at this. They're calling it the Greenspan effect on Wall Street today. The Fed chairman telling Congress inflation remains under control, and that results in a 154-point gain in the Dow to a record high, 8,061, and a 27.5-point gain for the NASDAQ. Wow.
Ever wonder what Santa Claus does on his summer vacation? Well, he takes the missus to a beach in Denmark, of course. Jolly old St. Nick's from around the world are in Denmark for the Father of Christmas World Congress. It's an annual event, and there's actually real business going on at this convention. The main topic this year is discussing how to ensure that only genuine Santas, not fakes, entertain children. It's not all work, however, there's always a little time to recharge the batteries before the holiday season swings into full gear.
Well, I'll tell you, for around here for gardeners, it's Christmas in July because we're getting what we need.
And we need more, though, I think, John.
Yeah, we have a few more packages of rain wrapped up for you heading this way, and we'll send it in big time on Wednesday night and Thursday. But first, let's check out what we have right now. We'll break it down a step at a time and let you know when the rain will arrive. Outside, one of our weather nets at this hour, Abington Junior High School, 83 degrees was your afternoon high. Came in with a low of 67 degrees, sitting at 79 degrees right now, and the pressure is falling. Look at Abington. You picked up over an inch of rain last night. Some much-needed rain. We like to call it liquid gold. All right, the official high at the airport today. Hey, big change, huh? 78 degrees. We had that cool easterly wind. That's why the cooler temperatures. The low is 67. The normal high for today is 87. Normal low is 68. Record high 100 degrees set back in 1957. We're right on the edge for tonight through tomorrow morning as far as the rain goes. We're on the northern fringe of a storm system that is moving due east from the Ohio Valley, loaded with moisture. Temperatures now in the 70s. There's the rain from last night. The NextRad radar storm totals, the estimated rain amounts. You can see most of the rain fell across the Lehigh Valley. 2 inches of rain, 3 inches, even some locales, 4 inches of rain. In and around the city, stretching across central Jersey, down towards Wilmington, Delaware, picked up an inch, a little less than an inch, and across extreme southern Jersey, less than a half an inch of rain. Okay, there is the latest radar. Look at all that juicy rain located across Washington, D.C. and Richmond, Virginia right now, but most of that is moving to the east. So it's a southern hit for tonight. Yeah, we have rain in the forecast, but the heaviest rain will fall across D.C. to Dover to Cape May, right in that band there. Rain from midnight through 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, around 2 inches of rain. For the city and the immediate surrounding suburbs to the south and southwest of the city and due east of the city, a trace to a half an inch of rain from midnight tonight through 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And north of the city, places such as Trenton, up towards Allentown, west to Reading, maybe just a scattered rain event. Most of the rain will begin falling here tomorrow night. There's the latest radar. More rain waiting in the wings down in Alabama. It's the ghost of Danny. We have the rain with us for tonight and tomorrow with that frontal system, but let's track Danny, put Danny into motion. By Wednesday, Danny's hanging out in the Tennessee Valley, and here we go. Late Wednesday night or Thursday morning, Danny will arrive, and bringing with it a ton of rain, 1 to 2 inches of rain, maybe more than that possible, through late Wednesday night through Thursday with the remains of Danny. We'll have more on that 11 o'clock tonight. And again, down the shore tomorrow, a little bit of a washout with chance of showers. Your forecast for tonight, showers and scattered thunderstorms, the heaviest activity, southern Jersey and Delaware, 67 degrees. Tomorrow, showers and scattered thunderstorms ending by 2 o'clock, heavy rain at night, 75. And the 5 day shows the heaviest rain event will be late Wednesday night through Thursday. Things will taper off on Friday, but much needed rain again. Late Wednesday night into Thursday, clearing out in time for your weekend. More details with Herb at 6, and again, I'll see you at 11. Tracy and Ken.
Good.
Works out perfect.
Yep, perfect.
Okay.
Right in the New Jersey Pinelands, Chopper 10's gyrocam over Berkeley Township, where the blaze has destroyed 800 acres and damaged 52 homes. Investigators say the fire was spread by a carelessly tossed cigarette, but so far, no one's been charged. Tonight, firefighters are counting on a soaking rain to snuff out the remaining hot spots. And after a long, dry, hot spell, the Philadelphia region is finally getting some wet relief, that dose of much-needed rain. Rain pounded the Schuylkill Expressway and many other areas this morning. It came down hard, but it didn't last nearly as long as many of us would have liked. The amount of rainfall we've seen is still well below the average for this time of year. And now you're looking live at the view from News 10's Skywatch. A lot of humidity out there and lots of threatening clouds. But how much more rain will we get? That's the big question tonight.
In fact, it rained hard in the Philadelphia area. We got about a half an inch, and while that's not nearly enough to make those parched lawns green again, at least it is a start. Let's go live to Action News reporter Suzanne LaFranchi in King of Prussia. Suzanne, a lot of people are distraught over the state of their lawns. They look dead. The question is, are they?
No. Horticulturalists here at the Home Depot in King of Prussia say the little bit of rain, however, that we did get is a little bit too late. And they say what we really need are a few days of soaking rain. Their advice to those of us with brown lawns, do nothing. Vina Agarwal spent this overcast afternoon pulling weeds with her son. She says her lawn is far too massive to water during this dry spell.
This is the first summer that I can, say that my grass literally died.
But experts say your lawn isn't dead, just dormant. And unless you have an irrigation system, it is likely more brown than green. Golfers at the Valley Forge Golf Club in King of Prussia are struggling with the burnout fairways and rough.
Well, everything's burned out. Fairways, rough, everything except tees and greens, which we can water.
Experts here at Home Depot in King of Prussia say there isn't much you can do with your lawn now.
Do nothing. Let it sit. Pray for rain. I'll wait till September, and then you can see if you got any major problems, and then you can take care of it in September. Reseed. You can put fertilizer down in September. So by September, October, it's not going to make any difference.
Experts say perhaps the worst thing you can do now is either put pesticides or fertilizers on your lawn. They say that will most certainly do it in. For now, I'm Suzanne LaFranchi reporting live in the Action Cam from King of Prussia.
All right, Suzanne. Now let's check in with Dave Roberts and AccuWeather. Dave, we didn't get the showers we were supposed to get today. What about tonight and tomorrow?
Well, there's more rain in the forecast, Jim. We're looking for some shower activity. Tomorrow night on into Thursday, we could get some heavy thunderstorms and a good soaking rain. The rainfall, well, the stats tell the numbers. Take a look at these figures. For the month of July, we're talking almost 2.5 inches below normal. This on the 22nd day of the month of July. And for the year, we're almost 7.5 inches below normal. So there's a desperate need for more rain. Take a look at Action Radar now, and you'll see the system. Look at this system to the south here. It's moving almost due east, west to east. All of that heavy rain staying to the south, but some of it is going to move up into our area. And we'll talk more about that, Jim, when I come back in just a few seconds. We'll take another look at Action Radar, and the 5-day forecast will indicate how much more rain is on the way. Jim?
Thank you, David. Still to come on Action News.
Until it's more than you can handle. Let Common Point Mortgage use your home equity to avoid bankruptcy and consolidate your bills down to one easy monthly payment, or provide the additional cash you need right away, even if your credit is in question. Call Common Point Mortgage toll-free for same-day loan approval and set your mind at ease.
A message about heartburn from the American College of Gastroenterology.
If you have heartburn more than twice a week, it may not be simple heartburn. You may have a more serious condition called reflux disease or GERD. My advice? If you have frequent heartburn or still have symptoms on your over-the-counter or prescription medicine, see your doctor or gastrointestinal specialist. They can help you live pain-free.
To learn more about heartburn and GERD, call 1-800-HRT-BURN.
At Boston Market, we'll carve you a real home-style meal. From rotisserie chicken, turkey breast cooked in its own natural juices, thick double-sauced meatloaf, or juicy Boston hearth ham. Then, of course, there's our delicious Boston Carver sandwiches, always hot and hand-carved, and our 16 mouth-watering side dishes. Now here's the deal. Buy any one of our Boston Carver sandwiches and add any side and a drink for just $1 more. The Boston Carver Combo, only at Boston Market.
Well, if you've been planning to go down the shore to get away from it all, well, so's everyone else apparently. News 10, part of the crowd on the Ocean City Boardwalk tonight. We'll have the weather for the shore and the rest of the area with exclusive Earthwatch forecast just ahead. But first, on the News 10 Health Watch at 11 tonight, new evidence that so-called drive-through deliveries can be very dangerous to a baby's health. Research shows that newborns discharged less than 30 hours after delivery are more likely to be back in the hospital within a week. The study also shows early discharge is to blame for at least 8% of the cases of babies requiring hospitalization within the first month. The main reasons, jaundice and difficulty in breastfeeding. And an amazing medical breakthrough, growing organs. Harvard researchers have grown animal body parts in a laboratory. Now, they've grown a new bladder from a baby sheep from cells removed while the baby was still in the mother's womb. Doctors hope to someday use the technology to help human babies who need organs, which would then eliminate the need to wait for donors.
People News now. Whitney Houston gets a gash in her face, and there's a dispute over how it happened. Houston and her husband, Bobby Brown, were cruising the Mediterranean on a yacht at the time of the accident. Houston says she was cut by a rock while swimming, but a crew member says she was cut while on board the yacht. Now police are investigating whether her husband had anything to do with it. In June, witnesses in Hawaii said Brown slapped Houston during an argument. And remember Sherry Stringfeld, who left her role on ER to move east and join her boyfriend in New York? Well, the Star tabloid now reports Stringfield and stockbroker Odell Ambrosa have called off their wedding. No word on whether Stringfield will now try to get back into her scrubs and rejoin the ER cast.
Speaking of ER, so you're a superstar. You're on the most successful show on TV, ER. You were this summer's superhero, Batman. So what do you do for fun? Well, you come to Trenton, New Jersey, of course. Right. Tonight, News 10's Tracy Davidson follows the trail of George Clooney in New Jersey. Tracy joins us live from Trenton. Hi, Tracy.
Hi, Renee. Actually, he was in town on a personal matter, but he was here at Kathmandu partying on Saturday night. And tonight, the people here are still talking about it. Apparently, he was super nice, and he graciously gave out autographs inside the club.
Mr. Clooney and 5 other guys pulled up to Kathmandu. They got out of 2 limos. They came up to the door like they were nobody.
But quickly, the hundreds packed into the popular night spot knew the star of Batman and ER was in the house.
I went up to him like he was a normal paying customer, and I said, "Hi, would you like to buy a shot?" And he said, "Great, guys, let's buy a round of shots."
Clooney and friends partied in a special section guarded by the club's security as fans swarmed.
All night they were bothering him. Fans will do anything to meet a celebrity.
I went up to him and said hi. I didn't want to be all, on top of him, but I just said hi and introduced myself.
But it was waitress Melissa who was the envy of all.
He was really hungry, and his limo driver basically had no idea where he was going.
So Melissa and a friend took them here to Crystal Diner, where he ordered eggs over easy, bacon, and a Pepsi.
But actually, he doesn't look as good in person as he does on TV. He looks a lot smaller. He doesn't. He's kind of scruffy.
All right, so it's not a huge deal, but the people here in Trenton are happy that they were able to show George Clooney a good time. And as for Melissa, well, she says it was the best experience of her life. Live in Trenton, Tracy Davidson, News 10.
Scruffy, well, he was off duty, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So he doesn't look as good in person, huh?
I don't know.
Oh, well, let's check in with John Valeris. John, you look about the same, both
Yep.
on and off.
on WeatherScope. Danny's
radar, and you can see rain still to the south and west. We picked up about a half an inch officially at the airport today, but the main story, the ghost of Danny, the remains of once Hurricane Danny, that is moving this way. We put the radar into motion. That little swirling mass down by the Carolinas, that's heavy rain loaded with moisture, and guess what? It's heading right this way. I'll have all the details in just a few minutes, Ken.
All right, thanks, John.
Belarus, it's been a busy day,
Yep.
news-wise, weather-wise.
Yeah, it's busy, very busy, and we're tracking the remains of once Hurricane Danny. That's going to give us some much-needed rain for tomorrow, scattered showers for tonight. Let's check out what the official high today at the airport was. It was kind of a cool 71 degrees. Now the normal high is 87 degrees. The record high for this date, 99 degrees, set back in 1991. The record low, 58 degrees, 1966. Okay, we're tracking a ghost, the ghost of once Hurricane Danny. Temperatures now in the 60s, and we have some scattered showers around. Estimated storm amounts with the rain over the past 12 hours, 1 to 2 inches to 3 up towards the Susquehanna Valley, Lehigh Valley, 1 inch around in and around the city, and 1 to 3 across extreme southern Delaware. That was the past 12 hours. What's to come? Here's the latest radar. Scattered showers with us overnight. You can see kind of hit and miss showers, nothing really widespread, but we pull back down to South Carolina. Look at this mass right in here. That is once Hurricane Danny loaded with moisture. We put the radar into motion. Watch the loop now. It's kind of swirling around, but note the little jump to the east at the last second. It's moving to the northeast and a little shift to the east in the track of Danny. That may mean a little less in the way of rain, but still enough. Significant rain for tomorrow, perhaps as much as 1 to 2 inches. We're tracking Danny. Now let's put Danny into motion. Where will Danny be by tomorrow? Well, ghost of Danny moves up towards us tomorrow during the day. The heavy rain will start out around 8 a.m., continue throughout the day. How much rain? Once Danny arrives, 2 to 4 inches across southern Delaware, about 1 to 2 inches in and around the city by the time this quits late tomorrow night around midnight. Your forecast for tonight, occasional rain, maybe a T-boomer, 63 degrees. Tomorrow, rain heavy at times, especially south and east of the city across Delaware, extreme southern Jersey. T-boomers, 72 degrees. 5-day forecast, more rain up until midnight Friday night, then a leftover shower or two into Saturday morning now. Humid, Sunday humid 90, and Monday humid 90. Again, most of the rain, the heavy rain, will fall between 8 o'clock tomorrow morning and midnight tomorrow night.
All right.
Okay,
Thanks,
we'll be
John.
prepared.
Okay. Well, still...
Thanks for joining us. I'm Sharon Resulton. And thanks for joining us. I'm Sharon Resulton.
Nationwide manhunt for Andrew Cunanan comes to a dead end. The notorious fugitive kills himself at the end of a standoff at a houseboat in Miami.
And did the owner of that houseboat have a connection to Cunanan? Authorities say the owner runs this gay health spa in Las Vegas.
We'll have local reaction to these late-breaking developments as the nationwide manhunt for Cunanan is now over.
Good morning and welcome to News 10 Today. I'm Connie Cola.
And I'm John Blunt in this morning for Steve Levy. It's 6 o'clock on this Thursday, July 24th, 1997.
We'll update you on the Cunanan story in just a minute, but let's check your traffic and weather first this morning.
Max Vier, Metro Traffic Center.
Well, good morning, John and Connie. Unfortunately, we're starting off with a couple of crashes on the Schuylkill Expressway. Both of them are in the westbound direction, and we've been watching on our Metro traffic camera pointed around Spring Garden Street to see if traffic is starting to back up. We can go to that live shot now. I'll tell you where the incidents are located. Westbound on 76, right around Montgomery Drive, an accident in the right lane, and then farther west of Gladwin, we have another incident there, an accident also blocking the right lane. In the News 10 Metro Traffic Center, I'm Max Vieira for News 10. Bill Henley, this much-needed rain. I guess no sun glare problems this morning.
Absolutely no chance of that, Max. We will not see the sunshine today. Instead, we're just going to see more rain, and some of it could be coming down pretty heavy at times. Our forecast is calling for rain, some heavy downpours, and a possibility of thunderstorms through the day today. And because of it all, 69 will be our afternoon high. 80s will return tomorrow with a little bit of sunshine, too. You'll see that on the 5-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes. John?
Thanks, Bill. Our top story this Thursday morning, the manhunt for Andrew Cunanan is over. Within just the last few minutes, Miami Beach police confirmed the notorious fugitive is dead. Forensic tests have confirmed the identity of a man found dead at the end of a 5-hour siege. Here are the headlines. Police were alerted to trouble at this houseboat right here. A man claimed an intruder with dark hair shot at him. Heavily armed officers moved in and closed off a 20-block area. After 5 hours, SWAT teams stormed the boat looking for any signs of the most feared fugitive in the nation. Once inside, police found a man dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Police say the body resembled Cunanan, and now authorities say the results of forensic tests did confirm that identity. The standoff happened along the Intercoastal Waterway in southern Florida, just 2.5 miles north of the Miami mansion where Gianni Versace was murdered last week. News 10 national correspondent Steve Handelsman was there as the drama unfolded.
It looked like the manhunt might be ending at the houseboat moored just up Miami Beach from where Gianni Versace was shot. A police SWAT team moved in with body armor and assault weapons. The normally busy area had been sealed off. Other paramilitary police blocked the escape route by water. The houseboat's caretaker had told police that after being away a few days, he'd come aboard, surprised an intruder, and that the man fired a gun at him but missed. A white man with dark hair. Close enough. Police assumed it could be Cunanan. Police called the boat, used a megaphone, but no response from inside. And as night fell, the SWAT team fired in tear gas. You can see the flashes. Again, nothing from inside. So the SWAT entry team went aboard the boat, covered by officers behind nearby trees. And after a thorough search inside, they found the body of a man.
That was News 10 national correspondent Steve Handelsman, and as we've just learned now, the Cunanan drama is over. It ended at that Miami Beach house. Records show the houseboat, which had been vacant for a number of months, is owned by a man named Torsten Reineck. Now, he's listed as the owner of the Apollo Spa, and that's a gay health spa in Las Vegas. Reineck is a Miami Beach resident, but police say there's no indication that he knew Cunanan. However, one witness says he saw a man in the vicinity of that houseboat who fit Cunanan's description the night before Gianni Versace was killed. Here at home and around the world, reaction runs from surprise to relief that Andrew Cunanan is indeed dead. News 10's Christine Perez joins us live now from the Airport Embassy in Southwest Philadelphia with more local reaction. Christine?
Good morning. Now that police have confirmed that the body on that Miami houseboat is that of Andrew Cunanan, reaction locally, as you said, is running from surprise to relief. Now, nationally, the search for Cunanan captured national attention after the murder of fashion designer Gianni Versace. Locally, Cunanan is believed to have killed a Pennsville, New Jersey caretaker, and folks in our area say that they are happy, relieved this crime spree has come to an end.
I could see something like that happening because he really had no way out. I mean, he was like a rat cornered, and I'm sure he knew it. So